Welcome back to this video about monitoring within the MPEG-H authoring plugin. Since we already took care about signal mapping in Pro Tools, we defined components and set interactivity ranges to manipulate audio objects, and we created presets to allow easy interaction. Now we finally want to monitor our mix to ensure that all settings were set properly and the rendering works as intended. So this is what we're going to do now. Within the monitoring section, on the left-hand side, there's a pull-down menu showing all available presets. In our case, default, dialog plus, and no commentary. The list below shows all components part of this preset and allows to change gain and position interactivity. This matches exactly what the user at home could do as well. And this is also possible in the section down here and allows to change the monitored preset also in other windows, like for example in the components view or in the preset view. The panning view in the middle of the monitoring section can be changed up here. And it shows the position of the static loudspeaker setup or the objects. And this view can be changed here as well to show objects or loudspeakers only. Coming now to an important feature of the monitoring section, the rendering layout. Based on the MPEG-H renderer, the same render which is in the receiving device, we can select different rendering layouts and can exactly monitor what the user at home would receive. In this case, we are listening to 2-channel stereo, which is actually a rendering of our 5.1+4 mix in the exact way it would be rendered at home. In the pull-down menu here, we can select different monitoring setups. Important to mention, the renderer only renders to the actual target reproduction setup as we defined in the beginning, or a smaller setup. Rendering to a higher setup would require upmixing, and this is not part of the MPEG-H renderer. But before we can finally monitor our MPEG-H authoring, we need to measure the loudness in order to ensure that the values we are monitoring are also part of the metadata. After measurement, we can ensure that we are monitoring properly. And this is how it goes. We press the Measure Loudness button down here. We jump to the beginning of our content and set the value. And then we jump to the end of our content and set the value. We jump to the beginning again, press Start, and hit the spacebar. And I will fasten this up a little bit for us. There's also a way how to do the loudness measurement faster than real time. And this is what I will show you in the video about the export. Now we finally received our loudness values. And these loudness values will be written into metadata and transmitted up to the end consumer device. And now we can finally monitor our MPEG-H authoring.
Welcome to Berlin, the capital of Germany. With about 3.5 million inhabitants, Berlin is the most populated city in Germany. After reunification in 1990, Berlin became the capital of the reunited Germany. Berlin is a world city of culture, politics, media and science. Large forest areas, big parks and over 400,000 street trees. The Tempelhofer Park,
d'une taille de plus de 355 hectares, se tient sur le terrain de l'ancien aéroport de Tempelhof. C'est le plus grand espace
Tempelhof, die größte innerstädtische Freifläche der Welt und Berlins größter Stadtpark. Die im Jahr 1906 eröffneten Wohn- und Geschäftsgebäude der Hackischen Höfe sind heute
The most famous and most expensive real estate in Berlin. Due to the artistic and gastronomic offer, the Hacker share yards are amongst the greatest sights of Berlin. Another well-known point of interest is the Berlin Dome. It is the largest church in Berlin with an overall height of 116 meters and 1,650 seats. The Berlin Dome was built between 1894 and 1905 and is now one of the most important Protestant churches in Germany. Berlin is one of the most visited centres of city tourism, and its exhibition and convention centres account for amongst 15 S-Bahn, 10 subway lines, trams and buses carry nearly 1 billion people every year.
We just learned that besides the flexible authoring of metadata, the MPEG-H authoring tool also allows a very flexible monitoring way without any complex routing or patching different tools. Now, the only missing step is the export of our metadata and audio signal, and this is what I will show you in the next video.